Assalamu alaikum. Today our topic is sampling and sampling distribution. This is we are starting unit number 5 on page number 151. So before starting sampling, we should know about some important terms. First of all, you are familiar with this word population, and in statistics, a population is a group of individuals or objects about which we wish to know something, or a population is a large group of data about which we are gathering some information or we want to know something. So in this population we have studied before and in detail, but for your revision once again you need to know what a population is. So in simple words, population is a large group of data that would be individuals or some objects about which you are going to study is called population. Then we have sampling unit, a single element or group of elements of a population from which required information can be obtained is the sampling unit or unit of samples. Means each and every object, each and every element of the population is called a sampling unit. For example, a person, if you are studying about persons and your population is a group of persons, so a person will be a sampling unit. And if you are studying about trees or animals, so a tree or an animal will be a will be called sampling unit. Then we have sample. You are also familiar with sample as part of or a fraction of population is called sample, or we say that a sample is a subset of population or a small part of the population. Sample should be random. A sample should be random and must be true representative of the concerned population. So it should represent the population and it should be random. Random means that each and every sampling unit should have equal chance of selection. So whenever every object has equal chance of selection, so this process is called randomness. Then we have survey. What is a survey? To ask a question or a series of questions from many people in order to gather information is called a survey. So when you ask questions or you have series of questions to gather the information from some person or from people, from many people, so it is called survey. Then sampling frame, the list of all sampling units which represents the population to be covered is called sampling frame. Means each the list of each and every sampling unit or each or every object of the population is called sampling unit. That list is called sampling unit. Then we have sample design. All principal steps, including the methods which are taken in the selection of a sample, is called sample design. Means the steps which you are taking to gather the information or to conduct the survey, and plus the selection, the methods of selection. We will study these method of selections or method or types of sampling. So all this include in sample design. Then we have survey design. The sample design, that the previous sample design along with some other aspects of survey, for example choice and training of interviewers or tabulation plans and etc. If you add these things with the sample design, this becomes survey design. So these were some terms which you need to know, and in paper these terms will be included in your theoretical questions. Now what we have two words, census and sampling. Census, In census, the information are obtained from each and every unit of the population. Whenever you take or you collect the information from each and every unit of the population, and you don't leave any object, and you cover all the units, all the objects of the population, this is called census. And in our country, census is done after every 10 years, in which the information about population, literacy rate, and the division of population in different provinces is concerned and is obtained. Then we have sampling. The process of selecting a sample from the population is called sampling. In this process, only the selected sample is studied. Sorry, this is misprinted here. This is selected sample. And so what they are saying, or what is the main difference, that in census you will study the whole population, you will study each and every unit of the population, and you will you will obtain information from each and every unit of the population. But in sampling, because sampling is a process of selecting a sample. What is sample? Sample is a small part of the population, it is not the whole population. So whenever you are studying, whenever you are getting information through sampling, you will just study that the information only contained in that sample. So this is the main difference between census and sampling. Then because our main topic is sampling, so what are the advantages of sampling? Sampling saves a lot of time. For example, if you have total population of 100 students and you take the sample of 10 students, so it saves much of your time when you collect the information from just 10 students as compared to 100 students. So sampling saves time. The cost of sampling is very much low than 100% enumeration. Enumeration means to get the information or to study the whole population. So whenever you are studying whole the population, the cost is much higher, and when you are just studying studying a sample, or when you are just obtaining the information from a sample, your cost will be much low. And then sampling results can be more accurate. How the sampling results can be accurate? Because when you are studying, when you are taking information from the population, so it is difficult to difficult and very time consuming to take or to gather the information. But when you are just studying a sample, a small part, so your results will be accurate, because you have the time to study in detail, and then the results will be more accurate. When the units are destroyed, for example, testing of life of an electronic instrument, for example a bulb or a tube light, then the sampling is the only practical way to assess the average life of the whole lot. For example, if you are studying, or you have to gather the information, or you have to test the life of an electronic instrument, for example a bulb or a tube light, so you cannot, and destruction is needed, destruction is essential in that, so you cannot destroy the whole lot, because then you will lose everything, and this is a nonsense, this will be a nonsense. So then the sampling is only the practical way to access the average life. And then you can see that on bulbs or tube lights it is written that this is the average life or something like that. So whenever the destruction is involved, so sampling is only way to gather the information. Then we have some disadvantages, or we can say the limitations of sampling. When the information is required about every unit of the population, then no sampling method is suitable to give the desired information, only census can do it. Means when it is essential, or when the information, when it is very essential that or necessary that you have to take information from each and every unit of the population, so you cannot use sampling here, because census will be only the way to gather the information or to obtain the information. So that's why whenever the data is required from each and every unit of the population, so sampling method is not used there. Then second disadvantage or limitation is only large sample can indicate the true statistics, the characteristics of the population. Only large sample can indicate the true characteristics of the population. So you need to have a large sample, because when you take very small sample, it is it does not give any information, or it does not give the a good information. So you need to have the large sample, and in every case it is not possible. So this is the limitation of sampling. Then sampling technique required services of expert persons for better supervision, otherwise the result of the survey may not be reliable. So you need to have some expert peoples or trained peoples, and when you don't have the trained people, you can these results will be misleading, or you cannot rely. So these were some limitations of sampling. Now we have parameter and statistic. For the very first chapter of statistics, we are studying about parameter, statistic, population and sample. But again, for your revision, what is a parameter? Any characteristic of population is called parameter. Parameter is an arbitrary constant value and is usually this is usually denoted by Greek letters. For example, mu. This first letter is mu, which is equal to mean. Then sigma square. Sigma square is the variance, and then sigma represents the standard deviation. So these are the so it is the parameter. Anything, any characteristics or any formula or any information which you take from the, or you calculate from the population values, all the values of the population, that characteristic is called parameter. And any function or characteristic of sample data, if you are just calculating mean or variance or standard deviation from just the sample data, this is called statistic. And here you can see that this is statistic. At the this is the singular word of your subject, statistics. So if you write s at the end, that becomes statistics, and that is your subject. But if s is not written at the end, this is statistic, and statistic is any function, formula or characteristic that is measured from the sample data. So it is denoted by Latin letters like this. Here we have x bar, which represents the mean, s square represents the variance, and s represents the standard deviation. So this is the main difference between parameter and statistics, and it is very important from paper point of view. Then we have estimator. A statistic means anything that is measured from the sample, which is used for estimation of parameter, is called an estimator. So if you are estimating the parameter, if the parameter is unknown and you have to estimate that parameter by using a statistic, then the statistic is called an estimator. For example, here if the population mean is represented by mu, so and sample mean is represented by x bar, so x bar will be the estimator of mu. Similarly, s square is the estimator of sigma square, and s is the estimator of sigma. So this was estimator. Now sampling and non-sampling error. We have two types of errors, and these are also very important um, uh, from paper point of view, exam point of view. This question occurs many time in your question subjective type question, and you should study it in detail. And what is sampling and non-sampling error? So there are two types of errors: sampling error and non-sampling error. The sampling error, the difference between the true value of parameter and the value of corresponding estimators, is called sampling error. So if you have the true value is mu here. These both are representing the mean, but x bar is representing the mean of sample and mu is representing the mean of uh, population. So here mu is the parameter and x bar is the estimator. So here there should be always a difference between mu and x bar. So this difference is called sampling error, and this difference occurs due to sampling error. But how you can reduce this sampling error? Sampling error can be reduced by increasing the sample size. If you increase the sample size, this sampling error can be reduced, or improving the sample design. Or if you improve your sample design, which you have set before, if you will improve that sample design, so you can reduce this sampling error. And this sampling error is also called a random error, and this occurs only due to sampling. Then we have non-sampling error, the error which occurs due to the process of collection and processing the data, and it is called non-sampling error. For example, if you are collecting the data and you miss some data, or if when you were processing the data and you miss some data in data entry or processing the data, that errors are called non-sampling errors. It includes all kind of human error, and these errors are made by human, and these errors are also called human error. So non-sampling error can be reduced by employing trained personnel. If you employ trained persons, they will, and you will reduce the chance of it will reduce the chance of making the mistake or making the error. And using modern computational aids, and if you are using modern computational aids, there are many softwares which are pre-designed. So if you will use that software, so it will also reduce the chance of non-sampling error. So this was the main difference between sampling and non-sampling error, and again I am saying that this is very important. Okay, then sampling can be done by two methods: sampling with or sampling without replacement. Uh, Sampling with replacement, when the item selected for a sample is returned to the population before drawing the next item, is called the sampling with replacement. For example, if you have selected item from some population, and then you have noted that item and you will put it back before you select the next item, so it is called sampling with replacement. In this case, the possible samples will be selected by n power n, and capital N, you know it that capital N represents the population size and small n represents the sample size. So population size power sample size is equal to number of possible samples. So if you want to know that how many possible samples can be made with replacement, so you will use this formula. Then probability of selection of each unit remains equal. Okay, in because when you are replacing the item, so the population will not change, and so because of this the probability of selection will remain same, and sampling unit will be independent. So sampling unit will be independent because it will not the first sampling unit, when it is replaced, so it will not affect the whole population, and sampling units will be independent of each other. They will have no connection, and then population remains infinite. Population will remain infinite. Okay, then if sampling is done without replacement, when the item selected for a sample is not returned. Now for with replacement, the item was returned, but now the item is not returned to the population before drawing the next item. It is called sampling without replacement. So in this case, the number of possible samples will be computed by this formula, and capital N Cn. So we will use combination formula here for to know the number of all possible samples. Then probability of selection of each unit changes from draw to draw, because um, when the sample will be when the item will be not replaced, so the population size will be changed, and then so the probability will be also changed. And the sampling units can be selected only once. Each sampling unit can be selected only once, because it is then not replaced, it is kept aside, so it can be selected just only once. Okay, then the sample size is less or equal to the population size. Sample size is always less than, and very rarely it is equal to capital N. Okay, then this example will make you more clear about with and without replacement. Suppose a population consists of value 2468. Draw all possible samples of size 2 with replacement and number 2 without replacement. Now this population is given to you. Population size capital N is 4 because there are 4 items, and here it is given that the draw all possible samples of size 2. So the sample size is 2 here. Now first sampling with replacement case, and the number of sampling in this case can be calculated by n power n. So capital N is 4 here and small n is 2, so 16. So these are 16 possible items, and every item can be repeated. That's why first 2 and then 2, because it will replace. So 2 and 2 can be selected, then 2 4 2 6 2 8. Then similarly 2 4 4 4 4 6 4 8. Then 6 2 6 4 6 6 6 8 8 2 8 4 8 6 and 8 8. So these are all 16 samples here. I hope you know the pattern. Now you understand the pattern how these 16 samples are made. And because sample size was 2, so each sample just contained 2 items. Now sampling without replacement. Now here's the difference, because the here sampling is done without replacement. The number of samples in this case is n capital N C small n, so 4C2, which is 6 here. So now here you can see that when the sampling was done with replacement, 16 samples, and when sampling is done without replacement, the number becomes 6. So what happened here, we will leave 2, first 2 and then 4 will be selected, because 2 cannot be selected. So 2 4 2 8, then 4 8, then 2 6 4 6 and 6 8 can be the possible sampling units, or can be possible the number of samples here. So this was all for today. Kindly watch the video carefully, and if you have any question you can ask. Thank you.